All right, what up, folks? Waiting for Martin to jump on here and BS for a little bit and kind of talk about our favorite bikes. Mine's back there. So I think Marty just got on here, and then we'll give everybody, we're a few minutes early. So we'll give everybody a few minutes to jump on. So Martin, send me a thingy so I can make you part of the fun club and I can be on top again. You know what I'm saying? Marty, you got beat out. Sorry. Try That wants to join.
Turn now, Marty. Sorry. Smoke's gonna have to make a cameo. It's his favorite thing. All the attention on
What am I doing?
Smoke. Look, there it is.
I got a hat here, man. I didn't know I was gonna be on. I was just
Well, you requested it.
I didn't know what I was doing.
You can't keep hitting. You can't keep hitting buttons. No,
I
yeah,
know.
hit your good side. Get your good side.
Yeah. I like
You requested it.
man. I did. What am I requesting to?
You requested to be on here.
Oh, is this a pyramid scheme?
Maybe. How much money you got?
I got friends, man. Friends.
Give me $100. Have all your friends give you $100. You give me 50 of that, and then we're good.
We can do that, man.
What, you drinking anything tonight?
Yes.
What do you got?
I'm all back.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah.
Look at you
I know,
representing.
Yeah.
At least your hair's cut. You don't look like a mop anymore.
I know. Thank goodness, man.
I mean, it's really gray, but
It is actually, yeah. It's really gray, unfortunately.
hey, it's okay. I've been noticing now that it's growing out,
Yeah.
all this here, I got grays up here.
Oh,
It's
wow.
not good. It's not. I got a lot of hat in my future. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So you gonna join us tonight? We're gonna talk bicycles and gear.
I can do that.
All right. So let's just. What's your favorite bike? We'll start with you. What's your favorite bike, and then I'll jump over and grab Marty
Definitely is my
that you have.
the favorite bike that I currently have is just my tri bike. It's an Argon bike that I've had for now 3 seasons. I love it. It's been a great bike, but I do have a new Trike Madone disc brake setup that should be here in a couple weeks. That I'm definitely looking forward to. It's going to be helpful in pulling Bryce in our races.
Yeah.
It's a Project One custom paint with Tridad on it. So definitely looking forward to that. Rode my gravel bike today and just enjoy being on that bike as well. So
Yeah.
anytime to be on a bike is time well spent.
Yeah, I totally agree. Why is the Argon your favorite?
Just I've had great success with it. Just feeling comfortable, just getting the right
Yeah.
fit. You know, and I know not to
A good mechanic takes care of your bike for you, I hear.
good mechanic and getting a good fit is everything, man. I feel comfortable on the bike.
Yeah,
And
that's good.
yeah, I think sometimes you think back to your bike, you think back to the memories you've had on the bike. Either you share with friends, you share on a certain route or a certain race. You know,
Mhm.
just having the memory of Boulder last June, almost a year, that we, experienced on with that bike. Just the memories of that, I think just is what I connect to with the bikes, the memories and the stories with buddies.
That's a great way to look at it.
Yeah.
I know me and Marty are going to get nerdy, but that kind of that's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
Think about all our fun times we've had with each other and stuff. It's, laughing on bike rides or even just getting set up, waiting on people to show up, that we know that are always late.
He'll be on here in about 5 minutes.
Yeah. Everything tends to evolve around bicycles.
Right.
The evolution of friendships, the evolution of conversations, and you look back and, we have a good time.
I agree. Yeah, that's a good point.
Different variables.
I agree. Well, cheers to that, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Salud.
All right, buddy. I'm going to get Martin on here.
Okay.
Thanks for joining in.
Yeah.
We'll talk to you soon. Let's go ride tomorrow, maybe? Tomorrow morning?
Yeah, let me know.
All right. All right. See you, dude. All right, Martin. Let's see if I can get you on here. Where are you at? All right, let's see if this works. Ah, you're on bottom again, just the way I like it.
I'm always on bottom, dude.
Are you big spoon or little spoon?
I'll be your jetpack.
Oh,
Is one of my new favorite sayings of all time. I will be your jetpack.
tempt me with a good time.
Well, that's when you have a big spoon that then farts while they're your big spoon.
So,
They're your jetpack.
yeah, I don't want to get into the details of this.
You're welcome.
What 12-year-old taught you that, Marty?
I think he was a little older than 12. It's one of the guys I was with at Barnett's.
Okay. Yeah,
Check it out. Ryan is both in the above window and down here too.
dude, that makes me laugh so hard. When I logged on the other day and I saw that over your shoulder, I was laughing so hard. I was like, "Oh my God, that's well done, Marty." That's why I had to find a good picture of you for our shout out this week.
Oh, the banana phone one, yeah.
Yeah.
That was great. Fair dues. Good. This week I am doing beards in the time of the coronavirus. If you go back and check like some of the earlier casts that we did, it was probably about that long. However, trying to put a mask on and off over a dozen times a day, like the thing would just like be sticking out this direction, or just like some kind of sea anemone on the front of my head. I'm just
braid it, or put the rubber bands in it. You know, like a motorcycle guy. If you would have had like 5 rubber bands in that thing, that'd have been sweet. Or beads, dude. I got so many ideas for that.
Yes, you do.
Too soon.
Yes, you do.
You chopped it off too soon.
Yeah. I should have come to you beforehand. I know I should have.
What are you drinking? Another purpley beer?
Indeed. This is another Malbec. Lindemann's Malbec. This is raspberry one again. So
interesting. I had a fruity beer the other day that was delicious. It was Boulevard. Has, I don't even remember what all was in it. Some kind of fruit. Delicious. Right up your alley.
It obviously stuck with you.
It did. The can should have had like a little umbrella, like taped to the side. That's how you should get that beer. Kind of like what you're drinking. Dude, I'm full of the ideas are already flowing. That's all I'm saying.
Detachable umbrella. You got that Jameson's again?
Yes, sir. Try to keep it fresh. Got to represent your mother continent.
Yeah, true, Dan. Well, seeing as we don't have Gravel Doc with us this evening.
What's your drink back home? Like, what are they known for? Is there one?
There is. So there's a brewery called Brains, and Brains do several ales, dark ales. They do one called SA, which is colloquially known as Skull Attack, because it will completely mess you up if you have several of them. But the Brains Brewery used to be probably about 9 miles away from my old house, and it was right next to the train station, which I'd get on and off every day. And if you've ever been close to a commercial brewery when they're brewing, it absolutely stinks.
Yeah,
it's foul.
So it's more of a beer.
Not a good smell.
So yeah, it's a beer country.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Dark beers.
Yep, predominantly dark beers. Yeah,
I can't do dark beer.
Some lagers, but mainly dark beers.
Yeah. Well, hey, is my AC too loud? Can you hear that?
You what?
My air conditioner, is it too loud?
No.
I was going to go turn it off for you too. So, what was your bright idea for tonight for our topic?
Bike setup. Really, it's one of those things. As a mechanic, I geek out a lot over this. I love seeing bikes with custom stuff on them. I love seeing bikes that people have gotten made their own. There is, of course, nothing wrong with getting a bike completely stock and riding it as is. A lot of the times now people are making bikes where, you know, if I can remember going back about 12 years, you'd have to change stuff out almost certainly the second you got it, because below a set price point, the component level that were on it would probably not be that great. And so if you were looking to really hammer a bike or really do some quality riding on it, whilst you may have got the frame and maybe the wheel sets you had, you know, you'd be tweaking stuff all the way along. Nowadays, it's a complete different story. Like, I've seen a lot of bikes coming out with incredibly good group sets on them straight out of the bat. So I think for the most part, there's been less customizing and less personalization recently. But that said, I'm definitely one of the people that and it's not from a snob aspect of it. It's definitely more, I don't want to have a bike that anybody else has. I want my bike to be my bike, and yeah, I'd say an expression of my personality, and it makes me sound like whoever. I'm not that deep, man. It's just I want to be able to see a bike. I've seen several bikes where I can look at the bike and say, oh, that's such and such's bike. Oh, that's Ryan's bike. Oh, that's Amy's bike. Oh, that's Terry's bike. And I can look at them and say, I know that's that person's bike. And then you look at a ton of other ones, maybe in transition, and be like, I have no idea whose bike that is. I can guess, probably not. And a lot of that comes down to just kind of component choice, the stuff that you put on the bike, but also a lot of personalization. And that's kind of where I wanted to go with this. It's just like little custom things that you do to a bike, you know, like bits and bobs that you do to make it yours, but you know, there might be a reason behind it rather than just, well, I put brown bar tape on there because I like brown.
Right.
Nothing wrong with that, but you know, if there's a reason behind it. But that's kind of why I picked my weapon of choice, which is sitting directly across from me, which is why I'm going to flip cameras here in a second and talk more about it.
Yeah.
So,
I think definitely bikes kind of evolve, especially the longer you have them, they evolve. As you upgrade stuff breaks, depending on what kind of bike it is, you know, stuff breaks, or you're like, ooh, I'm going to tweak this, or I want this position, or I saw this and it's going to give me 2 watts, so I got to spend this $500 and get this thing. And so I think triathletes are going to relate to this a lot, because triathletes will buy anything that will be a gram lighter and a watt faster. So I'm guilty of that in my day, so I get that. But I brought my mountain bike today. I think my tri-bike has the most customized things to it. And I've had it longer than I've had this bike, but there's just so many gadgets that you can kind of put on a tri-bike. And so I feel like it kind of evolves naturally with that. And because whenever you're, you know, in the tri world and geeking out on that stuff, you will do anything to get a little bit faster. And so, yeah, my tri-bike has the most upgrades, and I've decided this week that I'm going to sell it. So I need to figure out how much I'm going to sell it for, because I think it's time. I have not touched that bike since Redman last year.
this is your Specialized Shiv, right?
My Shiv, yeah. So I'm going to sell it. I think I'm going to, you know, not really an upgrade. It's just a change over to a different brand, and get, you know, some disc brakes, kind of upgrade to the modern times and things that are coming. So, so that's coming soon, but I do need to sell my bike. But I was telling my wife last night, I was like, man, I've spent so much money on this bike upgrading it, and I'm going to get nothing out of that. And it has so many cool things on it. Like, I love all the things, and now somebody's going to buy it and get a lot of cool things for real cheap. So, yeah, my tri-bike has the most things to it. And we'll get into that here in a second. But my mountain bike is my newest bike, my most fun bike, the one I'm enjoying the most right now. And so, yeah, I agree. So, yeah. But I don't geek out on the stuff like you do. Like, you know, I have some guys that come in here and they can tell me anything and everything about their bike, like the grams, like what it saves them, all the things, and everything that company makes of why they chose this. I'm not that person, so this may be a little disappointing for some people, because I'm going to be like, you're going to ask me a question, I'm going to be like, I don't know, it goes in circles.
Well, hey, I mean, it's kind of, some of that also kind of goes back to what Smoke was saying just now. Um, you know, the bikes that we have, the bikes that we love, the bikes that we enjoy more than other bikes, it might not just be what that bike, how, you know, how that bike looks, what that bike's made of, but just the times that you've had with that bike. I mean, I'm looking at catty corner across my basement here at the at my P4. I've had nothing but sad times on that bike. As in, I haven't gotten the times or the result which I want on it. I'm always in pain at the end of riding that bike, but I love it because that's the fastest bike I've gotten, I've ever owned. And hiding around the corner around that side is my mountain bike, which is probably the funnest bike that I own. Never ride that bike without a huge grin on my face at the end of it. I deliberately didn't choose my mountain bike because it's a little bit of an oldie and an oddity. I could wax lyrical about it for years, but you're not going to be able to get anything that's on it. And when I say get, I don't mean understand. I mean physically buy or purchase or be like, oh, that's a good idea. I need to get one of those. Which is why I chose my Trek. And do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first? Or
go ahead, lead the way.
All right.
Let's get to it.
All right, let me pop this bad boy around, and all right, there she be. So my weapon of choice is, I believe it's a 2018, might be a 17 or 18. That is a Trek Cross Rep. So they no longer make the Cross Rep as a frame set or as a bike. This pretty much got replaced by the Checkpoint, which is Trek's new, I say new, it's probably like 3 or 4 years old now. But it's their newer dedicated gravel bike. So this bike was originally touted as a commuter, but as you can see by the, and I'm going to call it by this name from here on out, gravel purse, as Mr. Alan White said last week, and I love that phrase. So this is kind of my gravel bike, but this is also my commuter. So a couple of things on here, and I'll kind of get closer and go around some of this stuff. So the reason why, I mean, normally when you show off a bike to somebody else, you'll have the drive side out. There's nothing really fancy about the drivetrain that I've got on here. When I bought this bike, I got it just as a frame set and then spec'd everything out myself as to the kind of products which I like, the kind of brands which I like. So I got a full Shimano drivetrain on here, but it's nothing, it's nothing excessive. It's just good old 105, 111 speed. So, it's just now I will say the chain rings are particularly big. When you and Alan were talking last week about gravel gearing, I was kind of shrinking back in my seat because that is a road mid compact on the backside of that. So a 3652.
That is not a good setup for sure.
Not great for gravel, for sure, but good for commuting. And on the back over there, that's just an 1128. So again, it's a larger sized drivetrain, so would not be great in the gravel in the real hills. Where I really did go overboard and splurge was on my brakes. The one thing that I really am and excuse the pun, but I'm going to do it because I can, and I will. I'm a very avid fan of mechanical disc brakes. I am a huge fan of mechanical disc brakes, specifically the Avid BB7s. So I got what is, from my money, the absolute best mechanical disc brake out there.
Why do you like the mechanical over hydraulic?
Glad you asked, Ryan.
That's what I'm here for.
Exactly. I like the simplicity of them. They're incredibly adjustable. The great thing is, if I was doing any kind of touring on this bike, and I did have a brake issue with a hydraulic system, you have to either carry a full bleed kit with you or just limp it home. Whereas with a mechanical system like this, it's dry. You don't run the risk of getting any brake fluid on your brake rotors, ruining the pads. And you can actually do a roadside repair with hardly any tools. I mean, I literally, if I wanted to replace that, if the brake cable broke in there, I could replace that side of the road and only need 1 5 mil Allen wrench, and I'm done and done. I could just coil it up and kind of keep it out of the way. I wouldn't even need to cut it until I could get somewhere where I did. So it's a super easily maintainable piece of kit. I love them. They stop on a dime. Even a hefty fellow like me, I mean, I can lock those things up and really skid it out. But yeah, the main thing, I love the adjustability on them, and I also love the fact you can repair them roadside. The other thing I blew money out on was the disc rotors, and those are the Shimano Dura-Ace discs, the Ice Tech discs.
Why did you upgrade the rotors?
To be 100% honest with you, I like the look of them.
Yeah. Okay.
You can get the Avid brakes as just a caliper without any rotor in them at all, and I did. Saved a couple of bucks there, and then spent a ridiculous amount more on those DA ones. But I just like the look of them. That's really the only honest answer I can give. I could fuff about you know, the extra heat saving that they do, but I mean the Ultegra ones do the exact same thing. They just don't look as cool. I just thought they looked cool.
Hey Marty, did you see who just joined us? It's one of our old school co-workers.
It's Disco Stew.
Disco Stew.
Yeah.
Hi, Stu.
Awesome. Disco Stew knows what to do. So brakes, while we're at the front, tire of choice, he says, wiping the dust off it. WTB Riddler 37s.
What size are they? 37s?
37s, yeah. The tread pattern on these, I mean, just ideal as an all-around. I can ride those on blacktop, not get any road buzz out of them, but they do hook up when you get off on the gravelly stuff.
I have the exact same ones on my gravel bike, 37s, exact same size, and I ride them on single track, gravel, road, everything. So, yeah, good tire.
Here's one of those things on my bike, which I think is an amazing bit of kit, and I would recommend to anybody that's trying to do this whole thing of fitting a lot of stuff into the front triangle of a bike. More and more bikes now are coming with multiple position water bottle cages, so you can mount the bottle further up or further down. When I got this bike, it didn't have that, and so the only bottle cage mounts are actually here, which would put the top of that bottle right up into the bottom of the top tube. And when you want to try and get a frame bag in, that just means, well, shit, I'm down to one bottle in there. So this is actually a Problem Solvers product. So this part right here attaches to the water bottle boss, and then there is a separate sliding piece which you attach your cage to.
Brilliant.
So you can actually set it up anywhere, and it's got infinite adjustment. There's just a little grub screw that sits in the back there where you can actually set it further up, further down. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a gravel bike, but if you have any bike where you have this issue of frame clearance between the top of your bottles, I've known some people where they have to pretty much wrench the bottle sideways in order to get it out because they don't have that clearance. Problem Solvers makes this, I can't remember the name of it, but if you search on Problem Solvers website or go to any of your LBSs, and you can get them through Quality Bike Products. But yeah, awesome bit of kit, not that expensive, but really manages to resolve a problem of allowing you to run 2 bottles and a gravel purse in a relatively small frame. I mean, this is a 58, but you can still get a lot of stuff in there.
That's a really cool product.
Yeah, it's an awesome product. Just a Revlate bag up there. I got my limited edition Curto Durdo badge from the Curto Durdo ride a couple of years back.
Yep. Curto's on the mend. Good.
Yes, he is.
Good to see.
Also talking about water bottles, this is another one. This is another little bit of kit. I actually found these pieces on the website of Uncle Jeff Bezos. So this is an Amazon product. I haven't seen them out there in a while, but basically it's just a little clamp that goes around. You can get them for 27.2, 31.8, 34.9, like all the standard size C posts, probably 30.6. And it just runs around, and then you just set them up at the right height, and you can put a water bottle mounted directly off the back of your seat post.
Interesting.
Of course, to be a little bit different, I had to be a little bit different because I needed extra clearance underneath my saddle. So what I did here was to take that self-same mount. This is actually part of a bike rack, just a rack mount that I put on. And then I mounted the water bottle to the rack mount and the rack mount to the water bottle mounts so that I have this real low stepped setup where I can fit I mean, this is my little Topic tool bag, that it could as well be a water bottle.
Nice.
Slap that in there, it doesn't go anywhere. So super secure. That's, again, you know, like a super little cool thing just to kind of make that area work a little bit more functional for me, because I always carry the toolkit around, so takes up less space up in the bag if I need it. That is a custom mount which I actually made for my rear light, and I just bolted it onto one of the rack points. Sorry, I was getting a call from 580. Not anymore.
Booty call.
So yeah, that's one of the rack mounts on the bike. Just fabricate a little piece of metal and put a light mount on it. So I have because obviously now having that set up, if I put a light up here and I need to get anything out, it kind of interferes. So because you have a problem, you solve the problem, and then you've created another problem. So now I have to create another solution. So that's kind of why that's there. What else on this bad boy?
Oh, what do you got in your purse?
In my purse?
Yeah. You got
Let me tell you.
What's in your purse?
Nothing in that side.
It's a good thing you have that thing on your bike.
Yeah.
Carry all your important things.
I got stuff on the other side.
Okay.
And extra tubes. So I got one tube up in the back, but I got 2 extra tubes in here. Thought I had some CO2s, but apparently I don't. Shit. Okay, so I need to restock CO2s, but
Good thing you have all those tubes that you can't air up.
normally if I'm doing just a bike commute, then I'll be putting all my stuff which I'm going to carry with me, so like, you know, wallet, keys, whatever, just get thrown in there. Just use that as more of an accessory on the backpack. But no, that's my little hot rod. It's pretty much like you were talking about last week when you were talking about your boom. And it's really a case of, it's good to have a bike like that you can throw.
And did your thing go off? Because I can't hear you as well now. I can hear you, but not as well. I don't know. I mean, I can hear you, but it's just not as loud as it was earlier.
Hang on.
Now you're just, I can see a big thumbprint of yours. There you go. Yeah, better. I don't know. Yeah, you're good. So what were you going to say about last week?
How you were saying with your Trek Bones, just how it's good to have a bike like that where you can run knobbies on it, get off on the dirt stuff, but also you can throw a narrow tire on and ride.
Yep.
Just on pavement. I mean, and I'll give you some idea hanging up there in the rafters. So I have a plethora of 38C tires sitting up there ranging everything from completely slick through to completely knobby that I'll kind of mess around with, which I did mess around with until I got those WTB Riddlers.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't have to swap between a gravel tire and a commute tire. I just keep the Riddlers on all the time because awesome bit of kit. But.
Yeah, I run the same thing. So that Boone, I run the 37 Riddlers, and then I have a set of like 40 mil Aero wheels that I run like a 25 on. And so today we went and rode around Draper, like on the new trail, which by the way is amazing. Super great trail. Well done, Maps 3 and OKC. It's awesome. So I threw the road wheels on today just so I could go a little bit faster. It was the only reason. I rode with my brother. He rode his new Canyon and road bike, and we just cruised around. It was great. But the other day I rode my gravel tire, the Riddlers. I rode a lap around Draper on the road trail, and then I went and rode the green mountain bike trail, and the tire did great. It's awesome. Or I'll ride from my house, go up around Lake Hefner, jump down on Bluff, hit some of Bluff on a dirt trail, and then ride home. The tire does it all. That bike does it all. It's a cross bike, but it does everything that I need and want, and it's perfect. It's just a bike.
I mean, kind of going back to echo Alan's point from last week when you were talking about, what's a good gravel bike to get, and he was just like, anything's a gravel bike. Realistically, if you can put a large enough tire on it, anything is a gravel bike. I mean, that is a commuter.
Yeah,
that was pretty much touted on Trek's website when it came out at the time as a commuter bike. It's basically like an FX series flat bar, but with drop bars.
Yeah,
and it really is just a Swiss Army knife. I mean, my days of wanting to have a lightweight carbon frame road bike that I can go really fast and race crits, and just those days are long gone for me. I want a bike that sits a little bit more upright, is more comfortable, but it can do a multitude of things. Yeah, I could throw 25s on that and take it out and take the gravel purse off it and probably have a pretty good tread, doing like a t-shirt ride or something like that. Totally doable.
Yeah.
But also having the ability to throw those knobbies on it and kicking out. You run 42s, Stu? Yeah, honestly, 42s in the Riddlers or just 42s in general? Because 42 is a nice wide tire, but I was pleasantly surprised. I mean, the thing is with those Riddlers, the max PSI on those is 55. And I'm going to ride them on the road at 50, and they feel like they are way harder than 50.
Yeah, I ride them on the road like around 40. And then I run them, like if I'm going to run gravel, I'll run them down into the mid-30s, and it's great. Yeah, and I think the tire I'm going to get next and try out is the new Pan Racer. Their new, it's kind of a slick kind of, so I'm going to give that a shot, see what I think. My brother has one, and I can't remember what, maybe it's a Specialized, and it's a 38, and it's got a slick in the middle, like it's completely slick in the middle, like a whole strip all the way around. And then on the edges, it's got a little bit of tread, kind of like the Riddler. So it's almost like that perfect hybrid between a road tire and you can jump off on the gravel and the softer. So
that's really the dream, is to have a tire that will hook up on both. I frequently have people asking me, well, I want to ride on a road, but I also want to ride some mountain trails. Is there one bike that will do it all? And just like, you get one bike that will do both, but not really either great. But with tires, there is now rapidly coming the tire that you can do everything on without major penalties to either.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and if you want, if you want to ride like a soft, easy single track, you could do that on a real gravel bike and be comfortable with, if you have a good solid tire that'll hook up on that. I mean, I rode at Draper the other day, and I had to take it easy around a couple of sandy corners. I didn't wreck anywhere. I mean, I can't hammer like I am on my gravel bike, and those bumps like jar the crap out of you because you don't have any suspension, or and you're on smaller tires. But I mean, you can do it and enjoy it and have a good time. You're just not gonna, do any races.
Yeah, it's not gonna blow your socks off, but
you
can do it.
But it's fun.
And no, Stu, I'd say definitely, Stu, just check out those 37 Riddlers. I don't know why WTB do some weird tire sizes.
Like 37 is an oddment.
Right.
I mean, like you'd normally have like a 34, then you jump up to a 38, or then to a 40, 42, so on. But no, they're a great all-rounder. I'd heartily recommend them. I don't
All right,
want
Marty.
no 38. So yeah, let's see yours. What you got?
All right. So, all right, let me flip this thing around. All right. So, I bought this. I haven't done a whole lot to it. And some of the things that I did to it were to get it ready for when I went and did Breck Epic last year. Let me move my chair out of the way. So the only things that I've done really up top, I've added the little thumb knobs. Love them. They're not anything fancy. They're not anything great. I think I paid like $10 for them or $20 for them. I don't even know. But whenever you're doing a long section that has nothing technical, or you're doing a long climb, just being able to change from this position to just relax and just chill out here for a minute, it makes a big difference in just the comfort and being able to relax your shoulder and your back. So I love them.
I was going to say, is that definitely just release a lot of pressure on your thumb off the front of your thumb?
Yeah, and the big thing of what it does is it takes your shoulder and your elbow from being really out and wide to being able to almost like relax it down almost into that into a road position. So what I mean is, let me turn this around, I'll show you. Okay, so instead of riding like out like this, like you're on a normal mountain bike, if you do here, you can almost relax the arms and just give your back at rest and your arms at rest. Yeah. So I love them. They're a super cool, cheap little thing, but make a world of difference if you're riding really long on the mountain bike.
Say like a long non-technical ascent.
Yeah. And if you're going to ride your mountain bike on gravel, would be a great little feature to have. Or like if you're doing like really long like Jeep roads or something like that, they were a huge benefit in Colorado when we did those really long, like 2-hour climb kind of situations. So across the top, I got my plug always, got my mount for my Wahoo, GoPro mount, which is just a fun little feature whenever we're out doing whatever stuff. I run the Icon. I think I got a 2.35 is what I run on there right now. Whenever I went to Colorado, I ran the Minion because it's more of a downhill tire. It's really thick and beefy, and because my biggest thing is I didn't want flats, and so I would rather run a super heavy, gnarly, big tire. And Jeffro is actually the one that gave me the advice on that. So running that big, beefy tire because everything there was just trying to not get a mechanical. And but around here, I run the Icon. It kind of works for everything. The tread pattern works for everything. I think the Aspen is a little bit faster tire, has a lot smaller knob, and is a lot cleaner. But at my level, I need some traction, and so I run that. Let's see, what else do we got that's been a little bit different? The dropper, absolutely. This is my first bike with the dropper, and I will never own another bike without a dropper. No. It's phenomenal. Doing a real mountain bike trail that has any kind of technical stuff, yeah, it's a no-brainer. It makes a world of difference. Even going to like Crispin, it makes a world of difference. I think as I get better with it, it'll get more fun, and I can do some other things. But everybody needs a dropper on their mountain bike.
See, much like tubeless tires, I have held out on the idea of doing a dropper.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
That life-changing.
And the biggest thing is whenever you go down something that is, even if it's not like super gnarly or super crazy, just having that little bit of get the saddle out of the way just a tiny bit allows you to get your butt over the back tire and get down a little bit lower. And man, it makes a world of difference on just the fear factor of a technical rocky drop or just even if steep descent. Well, even the other day when we were riding out to tabletop at Thunderbird and going down Huffy Hill backwards. So it's just a Jeep road, but it's fast. I mean, you're going to get into like 30 miles an hour. Dropping that and just setting all the way down and getting that center of gravity really low over the bike, just the amount of control that you have is 1,000% better. Yeah.
And as somebody who's been caught behind the saddle on a bike riding out at Thunderbird and not being able to get back up and onto it in time, yeah, that's the express highway to Wreck City right there.
And I think if you really learn how to use a dropper, I think you can use it very efficiently and much better in even at Draper, where there's some really good little flowy, fast little downhill sections that aren't even downhill. They're just flowy and fast. And I think you can handle a lot better once you get more efficient with it. I'm not there yet, but over some stuff that I would never consider riding downhill, I put the dropper down and I ride down it, and I don't have any fear because I can put my butt completely over the back tire. So definitely recommend. The other things that I have changed out on this bike over the years is when I went to Colorado, I put on a 30 chain, or cassette right there, which I still have the 30 on just because I'm lazy and I haven't changed it out. So normally in Oklahoma, I'll run a 32 because I don't know why, just I do. So in Oklahoma, I run a 32. And, if you're riding around local stuff, you don't really have to worry about it. But in Colorado, I was super glad I had the 30 and probably could have even gone a little bit smaller because of just being at altitude and the severity of the climb. Of course, I have the Eagle on the back. That was a game changer, the 12-speed.
It's a pie plate, man. That thing is huge.
Huge. And then when you run it with a 30 on the front, there was a ton of stuff that I could not ride because it was too steep in Colorado. Around here, clearly you never get anywhere close to that gear, but especially with a 30 on the front. But having that, if you go ride real trail and real mountains, it's a game changer and it's a must. So I love it. Would not go running a 1x on the front. And so the bike I had before this was the Specialized, and it was still the Softail. I liked it. The geometry of this bike is significantly different. It's more of an all-trail bike instead of an XC bike. And I would say for me, the all-trail bike is a much, much, much better fit and allows me to do a lot of things that I would never have been able to clear and clean on the Specialized XC bike. So
I just feel like you've got more bike underneath you. It's going to be more forgiving.
Yeah.
Just generally more squish.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is that it's different on the climbing because the front wheel wants to pop up on you because of the geometry. So you have to really kind of learn how to climb a little bit different. But on the descents and on anything that's really gnarly and technical, having more travel on the front and a little bit more rake on the front just feels a lot more comfortable and a lot more stable, and I don't feel like I'm going to go over the bars. So it really does make a big difference. The other thing that is a must, and I have a different version on my gravel bike, but same idea, is you have your little fanny pack on the back, which, by the way, my wife, I have a little bag on my gravel bike right now that goes across the bars, and she goes, "Oh, it's like your bike has a fanny pack."
And she's not wrong.
So, yeah, don't tell her that. If I can get this off here. So there's several different companies that make these. Can you see it very, very well?
Yeah.
Okay. So this one is Synchros is the company. So in your water bottle cage, the other one I have on my other bike, I can't remember the name of the brand of, and it has it all underneath. It's on my gravel bike. But it has all your stuff in here, so I don't need to carry a bag. So it has all your multi-tools, screwdrivers, all that stuff in here. And then on this one, it carries, well, if I can get it out. It's a chain brake, and it carries an extra link. So if you're ever on trail and all hell breaks loose, you have all your tools with you. Which Yeah, it's awesome. And I think, honestly, I got it off Amazon. I think it was like maybe $30, maybe. Like, what's the brand? Starts with an L. Lazine, or I never know how to pronounce it.
Design. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I have on my gravel bike, and it all comes off the bottom here, and it has a patch kit. It has an inflator. It has 2 CO2 cartridges that go on the side. That has everything on it. So if you're going to be off-road, like on a road bike, clearly it's the weight and the look and blah, blah, whatever all that crap is. If you're going to be on gravel, on dirt, and all that kind of stuff, I cannot recommend enough getting a water bottle cage that carries all this stuff, because it frees you up if you're going to carry a backpack or any of that kind of stuff. It frees up gear, it frees up room, or sometimes you just want to go spin a quick lap somewhere and you don't want to carry all that stuff, and you can just throw in a water bottle, but you know you always have your tools, and you can just throw a tube in your back pocket or something like that. So yeah, I highly recommend getting a bottle cage that has all your tools and all that stuff in there, and plus you can't ever forget it, which has happened before. So
yeah, it's always on your bike.
Yeah, it's always there. So I pretty much always run it in the middle setting on my suspension. I don't ever go full squish. I just don't really like that feeling. It's too bouncy for me. When I was in Colorado and it was really gnarly downhill stuff, I would run full squish on the back suspension. But other than that, I just kind of run it in the middle settings. I don't ever run it a full lockout, even when it's climby and stuff. I don't want to, because I know I'll forget. So I just always leave it in the middle setting. Same with the front. But outside of that, that's all I got.
Is another thumbs up for Design products from Stu there, saying about his track bump that he's had since.
Oh,
Damn, when did Stu leave Schlegel? I mean, that's years and years ago. Yeah,
that'd have been 2011-ish. 2011-ish, I would say, something like that. But somewhere in there, 2011, 2012.
But no, Design make good stuff. They make really, really good stuff. I mean, like they're big.
They make great stuff.
All CNC stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. And then my a quick upgrades on my tri bike that I did. I did the big fat pulley wheels. That's fun. Yeah, 2011. God, you're old, Stuart. Good thing me and Marty don't age, but you're old.
2011. I would have been what, 18 in 2011?
19? 18?
18, 19, about that.
Yeah, somewhere in that area. I know. I remember that. I couldn't drink yet.
But I did.
But like my tri bike, all the upgrades I made on that, I put on DI2. I upgraded the aero bars and all that crap. I put the big fat pulley wheels on there. I got a fancy race chain whenever for races that I've used once, and that was such a waste of $250. What else has been upgraded on it? I don't even know. All the random crap. But
you can throw a lot of money at a tri bike.
Yeah.
You can throw an incredible amount of money at a tri bike.
Right. But, that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it personable. And that's why all this random crap behind me is there, because people need to tweak and change and want to find something. Oh, here's something that I got on my, hold on, let me turn this around. I put on my gravel bike just to see this. Have you ridden one of these?
I have not. I've seen them. I've never ridden one.
I ordered it just because I could, and it's actually kind of fun. I mean, It's very inefficient. Let's be honest with that, because it's very squishy.
How much movement do you get on that?
You can make it really soft if you want to. So you could change out the spacers inside of it based on your weight. So I set mine up with what it's supposed to be for mine. I mean, it moves like that it moves. So like when you stand up to climb a hill, you can feel it going up and down, which is kind of a little weird at first. So you would never use it if you were going to like race it or ride really hard or something. But I will tell you, taking like your commuter bike and putting it on there, it's really nice.
So as far as the stem goes, if this is the handlebars, this is where it attaches, does it go up and down like that, or does it flex like that?
So it'll flex. So I have mine running traditional.
Somebody somewhere is probably going to make a gif of me doing that.
I feel like there's a joke in there. I don't. And I've had a beverage, so there is a joke in that. Come on.
Oh, there's a joke in everything if you look hard enough.
It's all zip tied in. So if you're setting like this, it'll bounce. It bounces up and down. Yeah. And you change out, so these little spacers come with it. And depending on your weight, depends on your combination of spacers you put in there. So honestly, like for a fun thing, if it's going to be a commuter bike or a bike that you're going to just be completely gravel,
Mm-hmm.
$100, it really did make my ride a lot more comfortable. So it's a fun little thing, and it was one of those ones that I'm like, I'm going to order it and see if I like it, just because why not? And yeah, I mean, if I have a gravel bike, I'll leave it on there.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else? I'm trying to see if there's anything else that's fun and custom that people put on randomly. What do you think about the new zip color?
See, I'm not a fan of silver.
Yeah.
I will be honest. I'm a fan of my bikes not being completely murdered out, but more black than silver. Now, I tell you who to love that would be Bybee.
Well,
Bybee is all about
the only
silver
option you have now.
bike.
On the service course, it's silver only. So people always do their bar tapes. I sold a couple of the different colors, so I don't have any of the fun colors anymore, but bar tape is always a way that people customize everything.
Absolutely.
Um,
And I will be honest, the only reason I have brown bar tape on my bike is because I have brown sidewalls on my tires.
See, it's a good way to put it. But you can spend $25 on bar tape and like completely change the color of your bike and the look of your bike.
100% agree.
It's a good way to customize it and make it fun. Another way to make it fun is pedals. So all I have here is the black, just because I don't want to stock all the colors and try to figure out what people want. But on my tri-bike, I have green bar tape and I have green pedals, just to spice it up a little bit. So I highly recommend people changing out their pedal color, just to it's another way to make their bike a little bit more their own. I don't think I have anything else that's fun. Yeah, I know you can change your saddle color and stuff, but a cheap and easy way is definitely bar tape and pedals.
Bar tape 100%, yeah. Cables as well. Cable housing comes in a raft of colors, and you can like mix and match, or keep everything the same color. I've had some people that want to do like a Bianchi Celeste green, and kind of run that across and do the cables same as the bar tape. Some people go completely polar opposite and they'll do a green but with a pink cable color, or you can go really buck wild on this. And there are some people that I know, who I will not name, but have done each individual part of the cabling on a bike as a different color, so it kind of looks like a packet of Skittles.
Okay. Yeah.
You don't have to be conformist in this,
No. Dude, okay, hold on. I would love to get Tony on to talk about this. Do you remember his original OG bike whenever he first started riding and would come into Schleif's?
Yeah,
and he had like purple pedals, green on it, different colored tires. Like that thing had more colors.
It was pretty skittled.
It was very skittled. Yeah, more than Amy's bike that I posted a picture of the other day. That bike is the perfect color for that woman, because everything about that bike matches her amazing, brilliant, bright personality. I mean, that bike is 100% Amy Downs, like without a doubt, 100%. So I love seeing people with all their with the bikes that come into the shop. I agree with you. It's cool seeing what people do to their bikes, and making it personal, making it match them, and making it look like them, essentially, which is always awesome.
And say, these odd tricks and like little gadgets and things you can put on there, like the deal to make the bottle cage lower on mine. I saw that on somebody else's bike, and I literally like kind of jumped out of my seat when he brought it into the shop, and it was just like, where did you get that? I have to have one. It's like, oh, it's problem solvers, because there's so many new products coming out that people do jump on the internet a lot and find these little nuggets of things to find, and then they'll have them on their bikes, and it's just like, I have to have one.
Agree.
Sure.
Well, here's the rabbit hole that I'm going down. This is kind of I guess, a good place for us to kind of round everything up. But I'm possibly going to do a 3D printer. Possibly. I'm not a tech person, so that's my biggest obstacle. But the ability to be able to make really cool things that people may want, or like exactly what you're talking about. I need to mount my water bottle lower. Well, Problem Solver has fixed that situation, but maybe it doesn't work for your bike, or maybe we don't know about it. Or I see a lot of people with like arm pads that we need to have at an angle instead of being flat because it doesn't fit their arm very well. We need to make a spacer that has an angle to it. I had a guy 3D print me some foot wedges. So like yours, you had 3 different in there. What is it like? You have like 5 mil in there, 6 mil?
You wish. I have 15 mil in there.
15 mil?
3 5 mils.
Oh my word. Do you walk like this?
No, when I got these on.
But instead of having all that in there, maybe we can make you one that fits perfect around your cleat. That's 15 mil, and it looks clean, and it just makes everything look better. So yeah, so I'm playing around with the idea of getting a 3D printer and learning because of exactly what you're talking about, the customization and the things that people want, and it's only going to get more and more and more and worse. So, which is cool.
Computer mounts for handlebars as well. You get so many people now with aero bars that a standard mount won't fit on them. So yeah, it's kind of doing that kind of stuff as well, just to really take a problem, resolve it, and get them something that actually looks cool as well.
Yeah, I agree. It's super cool, but I gotta learn to be a computer guy.
Oh, it's too old for me to learn that shit, dude.
Yeah.
You seem what I'm like, just trying to get on Instagram.
True. Well, Martin, do you have anything to add? Anything you want to wrap up with bikes?
I think we covered pretty much all the bases. I mean, customizing your bike, making your bike your own, isn't just about having the latest and greatest and most expensive and the coolest stuff. It's what works best for you. I've got some things on there that I cobbled together out of, just junk and odd scraps of metal, and I kind of made them work. But it solves my problem. It's really just taking that bike, and if there's a problem with your bike, then consult your local bike shop. See if there's a solution out there to it. If there's not, get creative. Gonna make your own.
Yeah. And I say, worst case scenario, go get new bar tape.
Go get new bar tape.
Go get new bar tape. Make it fancy. Make it look like you. Make it exciting, and make it fun. And your bike needs to be fun, and it should look fun. So, Martin, thank you, sir. Do what?
I say, if your bike looks fun, you're going to want to ride it.
I agree.
I'm out, but salute.
Thanks, buddy. I'll talk to you later.
Cheers, mate.
See you, buddy.
Bye.